Dude, you're just in the way right now. Here, sit down. Oh, there you go, buddy. Oh, that's a good dog. Good springtime. Oh, Pilot, you sat on the book. The book is directly under you. Dude, the book is under your butt. Come on. There we go. All right, that was kind of successful. The book today is called Could Be Worse by James Stevenson. Pilot, could things be worse? Things are really nice right now, so they could be worse. Could Be Worse by James Stevenson. At Grandpa's house, things were always the same. Grandpa always had the same thing for breakfast. Every day he read the paper. And he always said the same thing. Could be worse. Grandpa, that awful dog ate this sofa cushion. Could be worse. No matter what. I got a splinter in my finger, Grandpa. Yeah, it could be worse. My bike has a flat and my sneakers have a hole and I lost my kite in a tree, Grandpa. Could be worse. One day Marianne said, "How come Grandpa never says anything interesting?" "I guess it's because nothing interesting ever happens to him," said Louie. The next morning at breakfast, Grandpa said something different. He said, "Guess what? Last night, when I was asleep, a large bird pulled me out of bed and took me for a long ride. And dropped me in the mountains. I heard a noise. It was an abominable snowman with a huge snowball, which he threw at me. I was stuck inside the snowball, which rolled down the mountain. It finally landed on the desert and began to melt. I walked across the desert. Suddenly, I heard footsteps coming nearer and near. A moment later, I got squished by a giant, something or other. Before I could get up, I heard a strange noise. A great blob of marmalade was coming toward me. It chased me across the desert until I crashed into something tall. It was like an ostrich and very cross, very annoyed. It gave me a big kick. I went up into some storm clouds, almost got hit by lightning, fell out of the clouds. This is not Grandpa's usual day. What? I know, he fell out of the clouds. He's gonna be okay though. Oh, excuse me, Pilot has to sit down. Sit, buddy, get down there. Yeah, there you go. That's not super helpful right now. And landed in an ocean. I sank down about a mile or so. I saw an enormous goldfish coming at me. I swam away as fast as I could and I hid under a cup that had air in it. When it was safe, I crawled out. I started to walk, but my foot got stuck in the grip of a gigantic lobster. I didn't know what to do, but just then a big squid came along and squirted black ink all over the lobster. I escaped and hitched a ride on a sea turtle that was going to the top for a bit of sunshine. I was fortunate to find a piece of toast floating by that I rowed to shore, where I discovered a newspaper. I folded it up quickly into an airplane and flew across the sea and back home to bed. Now, what do you think of that? The kids are speechless for a moment. Could be worse. Could be worse. By James Stevenson. Pilot, what do you think about all that? Could it be worse? Sometimes hope is hard to find. Sometimes the idea that things are going to just magically get better doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it's really true. In those moments, sometimes what I say to my dog, to my kids, to my friend is, it could be worse.